We'll dive into the practical way these cutting edge tools are already making a difference by reducing inefficiencies, cutting through the noise, and fostering seamless cross team collaborations. Whether you're curious about AI's role in streamlining workflows or looking for strategies to improve response times, well, this session is your chance to see how technology is driving real change in IT operations. And let's explore the future of incident management powered by AI. To present this agenda, the topic, we have Mr. Bhimal Jayadev. With your round of applause, we have a senior product manager, Mr. Bhimal Jayadev. Following to that, we'll be having a product manager Atlassian, Mr. Rishabh Bansal. एक बार जोरदार तालियां, everybody. Let's put your hands together.
Hello guys, how are you? Good, good. One sec. Right, AI, the keyword of the decade, right? So thanks to Aditya who kind of took us through the alerting environment and how alerts come in and how that can potentially lead to an incident. Now I think we have a very basic understanding of what alert incidents are, right? So we are here to talk about AI-powered incident management through JSM. So even before getting there, I think a round of introduction is in order. Both me and Rishabh are part of Jira Service Management product team, which Aditya is also a part of. We are specifically working on delivering AI functionalities for teams, IT ops teams around the world, so that they can detect incidents fast, they can prevent incidents, they can resolve incidents better, right? So let's get into it. Let's talk about incidents. Anybody knows about this incident? Got it, right. Probably the most famous incident in recent times, right? So for maybe like 5 or 6 of you who might not know about this incident, CrowdStrike was a security product which pushed an update which brought Windows systems down worldwide, which had manifold impact across industries. There were aviation industry came to a standstill, like the flights were not flying. Healthcare industry came to a standstill. Nobody was having operations, procedures, appointments, nothing, right? By the way, I hope you guys know this is not the person who actually pushed the update. This was a joke post. The guy actually later put a news out that, he was getting DOSed by people because they felt like he was the one who caused the incident, right? So, by the way, can anybody guess what was the impact of this incident in terms of monetary terms? Just take a wild guess. 1 million? Oh, trillion? Oh, bro, that's probably an economy, man. That's a country that you have brought down, right? So it's probably not 1 trillion, it's a little less than that. It's around $5.4 billion. This is a single incident, by the way, single incident caused by one single update, right? By the way, this is just the direct impact this incident had. The indirect impact is much more than this because this is only the revenue impact, let's say, a Delta Airlines could have had by canceling flights. This doesn't account for all the people who were stranded in the airports. They could not get where they were, all the meetings that could have missed. So the actual impact could be manifold here, right? So why does this happen? Why do such big incidents happen? Why are we not able to detect these incidents and why are we not able to prevent these incidents better, right? So before getting into AI, I think we need to understand how incident management is happening right now in industry so that we know what are the problems which potentially AI can solve, right? So I think Aditya asked that question, how many of you have been in on-call in your life? Right, yeah, few people. I think this will be familiar. Familiar? Right? So alert fatigue is one of the biggest problems that typically on-call responders face when they are on-call, right? In fact, some folks have said, they have seen 100 pages coming in like a 24 hours window, right? Which is humanly impossible for somebody to go through and understand which one is actually an indicator for an incident and which one is just noise, right? So noise is basically an alert that is coming in and doesn't have any value. You can't take any action. It's basically a false alarm, right? Whereas a signal is something that potentially indicates, hey, there could be an incident or something you should look at, right? So the research shows that more than 70% of alerts are just noise, right? You just look at it, you spend time, you triage it, you figure out, hey, this actually did not need to be looked at, right? So This is a problem right now because what happens is that, let's say I am on call for CrowdStrike at that point in time. There may be one alert that could have come in at that point in time, which could have indicated, hey, there seems to be some issue here, right? I might have missed it because I am looking at 49 other alerts right now, right? So this is a problem. So it's not because people don't want to really detect incidents well. It's just that we kind of overload with them information right now, right? And it doesn't help that we have a lot of services up and running, systems have become more complicated, and obviously hiring has not get up to the speed yet, right? The second problem that we see, as Aditya mentioned, there is a lot of tools. So what you see on left is a survey that Atlassian only did recently. We have this survey that we done, State of Incident Management. If you're interested in incidents, please go and read the reports. There's only two takeaways that you should take from this. One is almost every company is using at least one tool in this category. So it can be monitoring, it can be your knowledge article based like Confluence, it can be your ticketing system like Jira or JSM, and at least one tool is there in each of the category that companies have. The second key takeaway is all companies are investing more in these tools. So it's not like the tool sprawl is getting better, it's actually getting worse because now you need to learn this new tool that come in. You need to look at this new tool, right? So how does this practically impact? If I want to look at an alert and incident, now I need to go through all these tools. I need to open, like, imagine like your Chrome browser with 99 tabs, right? Something like that, right? You go through all of these places, you do context switching, and you find out what could be the potential issue here, right? This is the amount of time wasted by people just waiting for information. So if you are an incident responder, let's say you took 7 days to resolve an incident, 3.5 days you spend in just probably finding the right resource or probably finding the right person who can help you resolve the incident or waiting for that person to respond to you in Slack or MS Teams or whatever you use, right? So half the time right now that we spend in incident resolution is just waiting time. So too little time, right? Companies and teams want to help prevent incidents, right? They want to make their systems better, their products better, their processes better, right? So that they can help prevent incident. But you are in constant firefighting mode. You are getting bombarded with alert, you're getting bombarded with tools, data, right? So typically it takes like, almost a week to resolve an incident, and nearly 7 employees are employed full-time, not full-time, 7 employees are required to kind of resolve an incident, right? This is where we feel AI can help you, right? The problem is you have a lot of unstructured data just floating around, which is very difficult for humans to actually make sense out of, right? AI can help you understand, get the insights from this data, and also help you resolve and prevent these incidents better. So AI ops is a term that we typically use, which is nothing but AI-powered IT operations, right? How AI is helping IT operations teams across the world to do their work better, right? Now, you don't have to take my word for it. We released 6 features in AI in just last quarter alone, and these are some of the impact numbers from early adopters in this for these features, right? We have seen companies reduce alert fatigue by 90% also in some cases, like 70 to 90%, somewhere in that range. We have seen companies which used to take like hours to find the right resource. The teams now take just 6 seconds to find the right resource because AI just recommends it based on the context. People used to take hours to do deep dives for PIRs, write PIRs, document them properly, find actionable insights. You can do it 7 times faster with AI, right? This is no research data. This is purely the metrics that we have seen based on last 2 months of usage that we have seen in all of these features, which is right now live on beta, right? So what me and Rishabh will do is we'll take you guys through the different features that we have launched, and hopefully that will help you better detect, resolve, and prevent incidents in your organizations. Now, before we get into the AI features, Atlassian has a 3-teneted model in terms of approaching AI, right? One is we don't believe AI is like a magic bullet, right? You switch on a toggle and suddenly AI will come and detect, resolve, and prevent everything, and you can go happily home, right? We believe think of AI as a most productive employee in your team, right? A person who can sit side with you and help you when you're resolving or preventing an incident, right? So which is what we call human in the loop. Right now where AI is, we are able to help human beings better in doing whatever their task is, which in this case is incident management, right? Like all products in Atlassian, our AI products are built for trust. So we follow tenant model, which is your data and nobody has eyes to it, right? So if you toggle the AI switch on, there is no cross pollination happening. We are not using your data to train model for, let's say, some other company. Your data, nobody has eyes on it. You just use the features which is available for you, right? And we don't just do recommendations. We actually tell you, because if I just tell you, hey, listen, no, go do this, you'll ask me, who are you to tell me this and why are you coming from this, right? Similarly, if AI just recommends you to do something, I'm pretty sure we'll all be skeptical, right? Is this the right step to take? Which is why explainability comes in. Every recommendation that Atlassian Intelligence does, we come with why do we think this is the right thing for you to do, right? And you are free to take that recommendation. You are free to say, hey, this is not the right recommendation. And we will take that input and make the model better. So we'll talk about what are the features which can actually help you, detect, resolve, and prevent incidents better. So as a lot of you mentioned, alert fatigue is a big problem that, on-call responders face. So typically, this is how an alert page will look like. You will see 50, 100 alerts in the system. What you do is that you go through each of the alert, you click on it, you try to triage it and see why the alert has come in. And is this something that potentially is a signal for an incident or not? This is the current life, right? What AI can do is, it can understand, hey, these are not 50 alerts. These are 3 problems which is causing 50 alerts. So here are 3 groups. So if you can see, the first group is linked to 7 alert. So we call this feature alert grouping, right? You don't have to do any configuration, nothing. Toggle, and in next time onwards, whenever alerts come in your system, it just get grouped together, and you don't have to look at 50 alerts, you just have to look at the 3 groups. Now you'll have a question, what do you mean? What is this groups? Where is it coming from? How are you grouping it, etc.? You can go inside each of these groups, right? You can see why have we grouped them? What is the summary of the group, right? You can also see who are the right people to reach out. For example, Kayla and Olivia on the side, they are not people who are linked to this alert, right? AI has found out there has been a similar alert in the past, which was triaged by Kayla better, right? So they are suggesting maybe you reach out to these people, right? You can also see that there are linked articles which you can potentially read to more about the alerts. So a lot of time saved, not just in alert fatigue, but in also detecting and whether this is an incident or not, right? Now let's say you find out that this alert group is actually an incident. You can create an incident, and when you create an incident, you don't have to sit and type the summary, description, link all the alerts, which is how people do it. Right now, AI will automatically populate the summary and description for you, right? Again, you can see it's not doing it automatically and then creating the incident issue. It's waiting for your input. It's telling you, hey, we think this is the summary and description for this incident. But if you want, you can choose to edit this description, update it, and then only click on accept. And the moment you do that, an incident is created with all the linked alerts that the grouping has found, right? We will now look at how AI can also help you resolve incidents better and prevent incidents better. And for that, please welcome Rishabh Bansal.
Thanks a lot, Bimal. Let me first introduce myself. I'm Rishabh Bansal. I'm also part of the product team at Atlassian. I'm working in Jira Service Management product. So before going into how do you resolve incident, how many of you have been at least part of one incident in your life? You have tried to resolve or, being as part of your incident management or on call. Can I have a raise of hands? A lot of you. So what we'll do now is we will look into some of the things that Atlassian is providing and some of the things that will be coming soon, and how we as Atlassian can enable you to resolve your incidents faster. And let's say once your incidents are resolved, how you can prevent those incidents from occurring in future. So now let's look into so once the incident is created within the Jira Service Management, your ticket will be created, which will be an incident ticket, where you can add the descriptions will automatically be added through the smart incident create feature that we have. Now, as an IT ops team member, one of the biggest issue once you have an incident is who to reach out to, or what are the resources that I need to look into in order to triage this. So are there already ongoing incidents that are currently live? So a lot of time gets taken into finding out these resources, and based on our customers' interactions, it can range into minutes and sometimes in hours. Now what we have done is, we have enabled, or we are providing with you a suggested AI feature, which will suggest you the resources which you can look into to triage your incident. Now, in this, you can see you will get a list of incidents, you will get a list of KB articles powered by Confluence. You can also, we'll also be linking the third-party resources that can be your Slack threads, which can help you guide what were the past occurrences of this incident. So currently here, as you can see that there is already an ongoing incident. So what you can do is just hover over the incident to see what is the other live incident, and you can then get the summary of, okay, there is an already incident occurring. So maybe you can go and open that incident to view, okay, what the incident is about. So this saves a lot of time in order to triage your incident and start to know about what you can do further. And the start that Bimal showed previously, with our current release, the release only happened, I think, for a couple of months back. We are seeing that a lot of customers are using this functionality, and the response time to find the suggested resources, which was earlier in minutes and hours, now it's almost 5 to 6 seconds you can get these results. Now, a lot of times, the tools that you use to resolve an incident are either Slack, Zoom, or maybe Teams. So, let's say a new responder joins the Slack channel. Well, a lot of time there are two options. Either the on-call, or the new responder has to scroll over all the messages, or maybe the current responder may have to stop everything to provide an update of what is going on. So to resolve that, what we are doing is we are providing you with a chat summary functionality. This is an AI generated functionality which will automatically tell you the summary of what has happened in the incident and provide you the details like what are the current affected services and who are the current responders, and are there already conversations going on via Zoom or not. Sometimes, not just the summary, you also require a detail about, okay, how has the incident progressed over time? So an incident may be occurring for over a day. You can't just go and check out all the 1,000 messages and generate the timeline. What we are doing is, we have a timeline generation functionality that is now live, which will give you a brief description of, okay, this time this particular event occurred and how the incident progressed. And not just that, this summary will be synced with your Jira Service Management incident ticket. So you have the summary in Slack. You can also sync it with your Jira Service Management ticket. So in future, if there are any other incidents, similar incidents occur in the past, you can know and get back to these incidents, okay, what has happened in the past, and then you can use that to resolve those incidents. Now, before going forward, how many of you know about Rovo? Like, okay, some of you. So before going further, let me introduce about Rovo. Rovo is the new AI product that Atlassian launched. It was announced in Team 24, and it went GA just a couple of months back, where in Team Europe, we announced it as GA. Now, as part of the complete ecosystem, you would be happy to know that IT Ops and specifically JSM is now fully integrated with Rovo. In Rovo, we have now out-of-the-box agent, which will help you with your incident resolution. You can treat it as your own teammate, which can provide you the information of, provide you the details about how to resolve an incident. And it can be your companion, which can guide you further throughout your incident resolution. So let's see what are the functionalities that this out-of-the-box Ops Rovo agent that we have. The name is Ops Guide. So let's say you need to, you have some functionalities that we have in product where you can get the suggested resources, but it is an agentic interface where you can ask the agent anything. We have some conversation starters where, let's say you want to find out about the suggested resources. You can just ask Ops Guide, find me the suggested resources that can help me resolve this incident. It will search across all the first-party products plus the third-party products. By third-party products, I mean it will also look into your Google Docs. If you have connected Google Docs, it will also look into your Slack channels, all of that, and then give you a summary of the suggested resources. What you can, in this slide, we are not showing it, but you can further ask other details about, can you just give me a summary, combined summary of these suggested resources? So instead of you manually going here, you can directly ask the Ops Guide about whatever you want. Now, let's say you also need details about, are there any similar incidents that have happened in the past? So a lot of times, it happens is that the incidents that is happening right now, there is already a precedence and a past incident that has happened that has happened. So instead of you going manually and maybe writing your own JQL and writing your own search thing, so it will automatically find all the similar incidents that have happened in the past, and you can just get a view of what are the similar incidents. Again, here if you need a more detailed summary, you can just ask Ops Guide, can you help me with the incident ED457? It will give you a good summary of what the incident was about and what steps you can take to resolve the incident. The last is, and I think this was mentioned both by Aditya and Vimal, is let's say you get all of these resources, you get the incident, but still you don't know, let's say if you are not able to resolve the issue, you need to find who the right team, who can I reach out to, who can resolve this issue. So what we have done is, we have a functionality called subject matter expert, where Ops Guide will look into the right responders who can help you with this particular issue. So instead of you going manually and scrolling down and finding out the right team, you can just ask Ops Guide who are the right responders that can help me resolve this issue. So this decreases the time that actually, initially you would have taken hours to figure out who are the right people who can help me resolve the incident. So again, this is a conversational interface. These are just some of the responses, but you can ask any questions that you want the Ops Guide and it will give you the results. So this is what the initial features about Ops Guide are. Now let me again ask another question. How many of you have used Atlassian automation at least once? Or you know about what Atlassian automation is? Okay, not a lot of you, but Atlassian automation is a very powerful functionality where instead of you doing the manual steps, you can automate a lot of things. And that's where we have integrated Atlassian automation with Rovo also. You can write your own rules and you can tell that, let's say if an incident occurs, instead of you going manually asking all of these questions, with Atlassian automation, you can directly configure rules and Ops Guide will help you give us a summary of what are the triaging steps that you can take in order to quickly resolve the incident. So in this particular rule, what we have done is, let's say if the if the issue is of incident type, you create a Slack channel for that particular incident and then use Rovo agent. And if you see on the right hand side, I've given some instructions, like if incident is there, find me the similar incidents, find me the SMEs that can help me with this particular incident. And then whenever incident is created, this automation rule runs and automatically it gives you the summary in your Slack channel. So you don't have to do anything. Once the incident is created, the Ops Guide will provide you with a good detailed summary of what are the triaging steps, what should you do in order to resolve this incident. So initially, without this, when the incidents were used to happen, you would have to scroll through multiple channels, multiple places to figure out this information. Now, just with the automation rule, you can get all of this information as part of your in your Slack channel. After this, so. Now you have resolved an incident, right? So let's say the incident is resolved. One of the major pain points of, after resolving an incident is you need to create postmortems. So in a lot of companies where, like there is a stringent incident management process followed, PIRs, post-incident reviews, are a must-have. So if you don't have, so for every incident, you need to capture what are the action items, why did this incident occur, what were the root causes of this incident, and how you can prevent this incident from occurring. So this is a good 3 to 4 days effort at least. And this 3 to 4 days, this effort is done either by the developers or the IT ops teams. And instead of doing something productive, their times get wasted in PIR. So, and the result is, like the people don't actually value the PIRs, which is very important to prevent further incidents. So what we have done is we have integrated for PIR functionality, which is now AI powered. What we do is we look into your Slack data. Let's say, whatever the conversations are happening, we look into your incident data, use that data to automatically generate a PIR. So, and this is now integrated with your Confluence. So a lot of times the PIR is documented in Confluence. So instead of, you manually going and you creating a Confluence page, you can directly call Ops Guide and write the PIR. Let's see a brief demo. So in Ops Guide, you can ask it to create a PIR for this particular incident, and Ops Guide beautifully creates a detailed summary of the PIR. It's integrated with your incident data, it's integrated with your Slack data, so a lot of times you don't have to manually capture all these details. You just have to ask Ops Guide and it will give you the required results. And this is all happening within Confluence. So it's not even JSM. So in Confluence, you can call it and use the Ops Guide. These are some of the functionalities that are live. So, and you can go and try these functionalities out today itself. Now let's talk about something that is coming in future. This is a stat that Gartner reported. Around 85% of the incidents that happen are happening because there was some change made somewhere in the system. So it's normally, a lot of the times, incidents happen because some change was done. For example, in the CrowdStrike, there was one particular PR that was raised by an engineer, and some change happened, and that created a lot of issues. What we are trying to do is, now the one important feature that we are working on, how, let's say once an incident occurs, how you can quickly identify what was the root cause of that incident. So this is one of the major pain points in terms of resolving the incident faster. So this is our solution that we are working on. Let's say, what we will do is we will look into your logs and metrics, that is the observability tools. We'll look into the changes that have happened in the system. We'll look into the feature flag changes, the chat data, the deployments data, and also your service topologies. Service topology is basically how your services are connected together. Using that, we are building our own model, which will recommend what is the exact root cause of a particular incident. It will pinpoint, okay, this is the particular faulty service where a deployment or where a change was done, and it will recommend you that. So this is coming soon. We are currently piloting some of these features, and we are building this. So this is an ongoing piece of work which will be released soon as part of a pilot. Let's look into what the RCA functionality will be. So let's say if an incident occurs, you can ask to investigate about this incident, and it will tell you about what are the potential root causes. So here you have two root causes that has been recommended. The first one is highly likely that this issue is caused because of the authentication service. And it gives you details. Now, if you need further details about, give me more details. So it's not just recommending you the root cause. Our basic principle at Atlassian is we want to give you as much detail about any AI functionality that we give. So what you can do further is you can call Ops Guide. You can ask it, okay, provide me details about why feature flag change on authentication service was recommended as a root cause. So it will give you details, okay, like these were the alerts that were received, these were the other incidents that were going on, and it will give you a detailed summary of why we are recommending you as a root cause. So these are some of the functionalities. Now let's do a recap of what features are currently live. Bimal talked about the detect phase. In detect, basically, it's helping you to detect issues faster. Let's say if you receive alerts, you have 100 alerts. Out of those 100 alerts, 90 might be noise. What are those 10 alerts that can actually be a problematic thing? That's where we have the alert grouping functionality. We have past incident insights on alerts. And then once you figure out that this is an incident, it will help you to create incident automatically using AI. In the resolve phase, we provided you the suggested resources where you can help with the finding the right resources in a short span of time. Then we introduced Ops Guide, which is your AI companion that can help you with any of your queries during your resolution. And then chat summary and timeline functionalities are basically for the incident responders, which can go to the Slack channel and find out what is the summary of the incident going on and help with the overall timeline generation. And the last one, which is coming soon, is the root cause analysis. These are the functionalities in the resolve phase. Now, in the prevent phase, prevent is basically where incidents needs to be prevented from occurring in future. And here we have a smart PIR generation functionality where PIR will be auto-created using OpsKite. These are the functionalities that we already have. Now, that's all for our presentation. Thanks for joining. This is the QR code. We have a form. Please use it. Fill your details in, and provide us the feedback about how the session was. What are your requirements? What are you looking for from Atlassian in terms of your AI needs? And at last, if you have any questions, we would be happy to take it. Anyone has any questions, please feel free to, can we have a mic? Anyone has any questions, please, you can ask us now.
Okay, in fact, let's have Mani sir and sir, please to join us on stage. And also, guys, for your question, I have a surprise as well. So please do help yourself in winning this one opportunity as well. So yes, we'll go with.
Yeah, here I have a question.
Yeah,
You
hi.
spoke about previous incidents that can be resolved afterwards. But if it is a first incident of this case, then how are you going to resolve it?
Yeah, that's a good question. So how we are approaching incident resolution is, there are two approaches. One is looking into your historical data where you already have some incidents created. We look into that and try to recommend you the resolution. Let's say if we don't have any past historical data. In that case, we are looking into your live data. Live data is basically, the data coming from your alerts, the data coming from, the recent deployments that have happened, the other sources of information like observability tools, logs, metrics. We will take in that data to recommend you, okay, why is this incident happening and what are the root causes of this incident. Second thing is we talked about suggested resources. Suggested resources is basically a functionality which is searching across your across all your KB articles, KB meaning like, Confluence, Google Docs, if you have any documents, and suggesting, okay, this incident relates to this particular suggested resources and this document can help you further resolve. So we are approaching it holistically, looking into your historical data and the live data, combining it with our already present data like the Confluence articles. So that's how we are approaching and if you need more details, we can show you the demo, how we are doing it. So in the IT Ops booth we have all of these demos ready. If you want, come there and see the demos. Also, one thing, like if you have questions from the previous session also, please do ask. So both of the sessions we will combine, we will answer your questions right now. Any other? I saw some hands.
Is it audible? Yeah. So is there any need for AI engineer to come into picture when we configure this for the organization, or when we train, the model training is done in the backend, fine tuning is done with the data of customers?
So see, AI cannot work without integrations. Like we need the data. So what Aditya talked about in his initial first presentation, where you need to set up those integrations. So once those integrations are set up, it's not the AI engineer that has to come in. It can be anyone who has the expertise of setting these integrations. Once those integrations are set up, then automatically, using our AI powered functionality, we'll recommend you the different resources, the recommendations. So it's not specifically, you don't need any particular AI engineer for it.
So I can add a bit more color to that. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Okay. See, I mean, at the end of the day, you need a large amount of data to make some sort of AI decision there, right? So as Rishabh was saying, integrations plays a really big part there. And when we say integrations, it actually goes back to the session that I was taking, wherein we speak about monitoring and observability. Because, say, for example, you have something like a New Relic or a Datadog monitoring tool somewhere. That tool is going to give you a lot of information about what module has gone wrong, why it has gone wrong, how much time it was down. And then when you combine that with the service graph that we have inside of Atlassian as well, which says that your database service, network service, infrastructure service, and maybe your configuration service. All of these, the way they are linked together, will give you some more information as to what is happening wrong in this incident. Plus, there could be a bunch of other things that have maybe gone wrong in the past. Like, for example, you probably didn't patch your system for the last 6 months, right? So then that information also then becomes available to the AI model to make decisions on what actually should be done to solve that incident at the moment. So this is just one example of that integration and the engineering that you might.
Yeah, I mean, there would be some questions. If there is a cost to it, there would be questions from the customers like, what will be my ROI, or what kind of benefit I would be getting if we implement those AI features. So to explain this metrics, do you have your own metrics that can give it to
Yes.
them?
Yeah, so in terms of ROI, just wanted to call out two things. One, we shared what is the impact that these features have already had on, incident management, PRI creation, reduced alert fatigue, etc. Right. Second thing is, except Rovo, the rest of the features are available in JSM natively out of the box. If you're right now a premium or an enterprise customer, you can go right now, go to settings, enable Atlassian Intelligence, and you can straight away start using. Right. So
And specifically talking about some of the metrics, so what we within Atlassian or within the IT ops team are doing, we are concentrating on these three metrics. One is, ability to reduce the mean time to detect an incident. Second is reduce the mean time to resolve an incident, and then further reduce outages. So most of your, let's say if an incident happens or incident is not detected at the right time, it has a huge revenue impact. So if our target is ultimately reducing these the time to detect, the time to resolve, and then preventing these incidents from occurring in future.
Hi, this is Balaji here. I have two questions. So the first one is that the product Rovo looks like it is more on a SaaS base, right? Is there any plans for any self-hosted versions? Because everybody, enterprises, they look for the self-hosted ones, right? Not everybody is comfortable to go to cloud.
Yes. So when we talk about the integrations, and I'll talk about in two ways, and maybe others can add. So one is, let's say about the integration. So you can connect as a webhook all of these things through your data. If you have something on-prem, that functionality is there. So we are not just connecting to your cloud versions. You can connect to your on-prem version and send this data to our JSM cloud offering. Right now, all the AI functionality that Atlassian offers is a cloud-only offering. It's not on-prem offering. It's not available. But in Rovo, we do have functionality where you can connect Rovo to your data center apps. Like if you have Jira in your data center, you can directly have, so we are building a connector which can directly connect to the Jira data on your on-prem version, and you can then directly use Rovo. So that functionality is coming soon.
Okay, so then Rovo is only cloud only, but it can connect to data center also.
Yes.
Okay, and my second question was, most of the enterprises, they look for a common ecosystem. And I see you are in like development space, and you are in like alerting space, and you are in like status space as well. So you left this monitoring space, right? Monitoring tools. Is there any plans for Atlassian to look into that space and fill that ecosystem gap?
So right now, and maybe I think Aditya, you will. Let me first answer this. So right now, these integrations are already there. So what we are trying to do, and in the industry, I don't know whether you guys know or not. A very very common term that is used is tool sprawl. Tool sprawl is basically where enterprises have multiple tools for the same thing being used in the company. And that's where, like if you have 10 observability tools being used, it causes a challenge to have an aggregated view of what is going on in the system. That's where, where our functionalities of integrations comes in. We are integrating with all of these observability tools and your on-prem hosted tools, and collecting all of this together and bringing it together. That's where we are playing. And to your question on how we are playing with the dev plus ops side. So Atlassian, one of the major advantages of Atlassian is to how we can bridge the silo between the ops and the dev team. So that's where we are on a mission of bringing the dev and ops teams together, where ops team have the visibility into what devs are doing, and devs have the visibility into what is going on the ops side. So that's the mission that we have taken on, and that's where you see a lot of these features, kind of linking to that.
I don't think I can add too much to what he said. Also, I think really good question. You kind of summed up the essence of our existence at the moment. That we are trying to connect everything end to end.
Right.
I guess a quick answer to that question is no. We are not looking to enter that monitoring space at the moment because there are already some very nice established players there with whom we are now entering into partnerships to just ensure that the connectivity and the integrations are much more seamless. So you will see even better integrations going forward, maybe in say the next 6 months to 12 months. And I think just adding to what Rishabh was saying, some of you might have seen some of our founder announcements and talks on something that we're calling as system of work and the Atlassian teamwork graph, which basically says that we want to try and build a nice collaboration network between all different kinds of teams within your company, not just development teams, not just operations teams, but also your business teams, finance teams. All of them come together very nicely in what we're calling as the system of work. So the dev and ops is definitely a huge part of that story, but it's only one part.
Okay, thank you.
Hello. So my question is about the security. So for an example, one person is working on two, three, or even say 9 or 10 of the customers. For each of them, he is maintaining a OneDrive. Each of them is having the suggested solution. With each of them, he is chatting through a different channel, Discord or MS Teams or so. So is your tool smart enough to keep a segregation between individual customer data? A configuration of one customer is not visible to other ones, their email IDs or their the loads, the setup, topology, or is it also training itself with the data of the chat data or the email data or the OneDrive data of the on-call person? So is that safety maintained? I mean,
Yeah, so I'll just share one point before I give it to Aditya. All of the features that we are building, it follows the basic tenets of security, accessibility, privacy. If a person X is not supposed to have access to resource X, it will not be recommended to that person, even in AI, right? So the basic security, privacy configurations are followed even in AI recommended.
We don't. So if it's your data will only be used to give recommendations to you. It will not be used to train models for other customers. Like, your data is your data. It's safe. It's separated from other customers. Other customers don't have access to your data, and that's the trust principle that Atlassian has across all our products, not just for AI, but other anything that we do. So we are adhering to that, and that's the basic. Before even starting on this journey of AI, we first started with what are the principles that Atlassian should adhere to when we provide any kind of AI functionality. So that's very, very important, and it's taken very seriously. We have a lot of handbooks, and a detailed guide of what exactly the processes we follow. If you want, we can share you in the booth, like what are the exact how we maintain this trust.
And just to add on to that, it's not just at a customer level. Even within your company, let's say, I am not supposed to particularly have access to a Confluence document. If there is an incident for which that Confluence document is supposed to be a suggested resource, I will not see it because I don't have access to it. If Rishabh had access to it and he was checking the incident, he will be able to see it, right? So the basic principles are followed in terms of security and privacy.
Probably the last question from my side. When you speak
Hi.
about
Sorry, I think there are two.
attributing sources, when you build the GenAI use case using Compass, how you limit the sources? Whether it's a private LLM or the data comes from a public LLM like Llama or GPT?
So it's the configurations that you do. So we will provide you the connectors, and it's the admin that have to set up the connectors. Like, you are giving us the access to that information, and if we have the access, then only we can use that data. And it's not like we can be without giving the access, we can access that. There has to be proper permissioning, proper setup done by the admin. Once the admin gives that permission, then we get that data. And again, like that, as in our build for trust principle, we keep your data separately, and it's not merged with any other customers.
So my data will be safe and
Yes, yes, that's the basic, like before doing anything on AI, one thing is like, we have invested heavily in terms of our guidelines, in terms of, what are the processes, and we have a very detailed guidelines. If you want, we'll share it with you. Like, there is and we are, I'll say we are the industry leaders, like in these terms, we are guiding other companies, other companies within the industry to follow some of these practices. So we as Atlassian have taken it on us how we can ensure, and ensure that customers have trust in our AI solutions. So, and then this can be used by and replicated by other companies also. So we are kind of pioneering on that journey. Yeah.
thank you.
Hi, my name is Ganesha. My question is to Aditya. So, how does this Compass is different, different from Grafana, whereas Grafana is a open source. So even its monitoring and alerts, it gives the same as a Compass, right? So how does it differ?
Okay, actually, before I answer that question, let me ask you this question. Have you heard of these tools called Backstage or Harness?
No.
Okay. So think about it this way. The way we are trying to build Compass is that this should be like that one tool which a developer can use day in and day out, and all of their other tools can be integrated into it. Alerts and on-call is one aspect of it. And we have an integration with Grafana as well, where you can start streaming in Grafana logs and Grafana data as well. Apart from that, we have something called a component catalog. That component catalog, I didn't touch upon it too much in today's session, and maybe I can also give you a quick demo at the booth outside. Is basically, think about it this way. You're probably running some sort of a Kubernetes cluster, right? You have 80 different microservices running at any point in time, and all of them have different purpose. All of them have their own patching schedule. All of them have their own separate on-call. Maybe all of them have their own separate logs as well that are coming, some sort of elk stack or whatever else you could have. This tool enables you, Compass enables you to not go into separate logging tools, separate error tools to check out what is going on there. And then you have to basically take a dump from there to see, what logs are coming in. Are there any, say, maybe 400 responses in it, and then maybe compile it somewhere else to see what the health of your service. All of that gets eliminated because we have inbuilt scorecards within Compass also. So you have to, like, when you log in the morning, the first thing you will see is that service A is healthy 100%, service B is healthy maybe 95%, service C is not healthy because it is on 40% or something. And again, all of these scores are configurable. But then you will also get insights on why is service C not healthy, because of XYZ reasons, and then you are given the insights to say, okay, do these things, and then your score comes back up. So it's just basically a very objective way of tracking the health of your service.
Okay, thank you.
And here?
Yeah, my question is related to basically event correlation thing. So if you see when we have lots of alert, is there any way to prioritize that in forms of this? And do we have any option to event correlate everything that is there on the services itself?
So your alerts, we recently introduced a functionality where your alerts can be mapped to a service. Once you set up your configurations, you can define, okay, the alerts coming from this particular integration belongs to this particular service. So automatically, all the alerts that are coming will be belonging to a particular service. Now, how we do our event correlation or alert grouping is basically we use the information that is available in the alerts. We use the tags, we use the description, we use the title, and trying to do the similarity between what are the similar alerts. Plus, on top of that, we are building the functionality where we will also look into the alerts belonging to the similar service. So it's an advanced algorithm that we have. Plus, on top of that, we are also soon releasing the customization, where you can customize how you want to configure or you want to group your alerts. Let's say if you want to only group by tags or title or description, then you can do those type of configurations also. So that functionality is also coming. So we are providing the in terms of making you decide how you want to group the alerts, and and then using our models, the grouping will be done.
Final two more questions. We have to break
One
for
question
lunch.
from you.
Oh, hi. Hello. Yeah, hi. The Vishnu here. So just a quick clarification, okay? So I'm actually working as a ServiceNow developer and I work on integrating with third-party tools. Currently, I'm working on integrating with OpsGenie with ServiceNow. So we are actually trying to streamline our major incident process in ServiceNow and OpsGenie. So you spoke about JSM, and I feel that is much more relevant, or I am not 100% sure what OpsGenie does as well, okay? So what is the difference between this JSM and OpsGenie? So
Okay.
what are they like?
That's a exciting question, and I think all of us will like to pitch in here.
Okay.
So within Atlassian, we are taking a step in terms of integrating all of your experience of operations. So right now you have this Opsgenie where you have alerts, you have on-call schedules maintained, and now you mentioned about ServiceNow. ServiceNow you do the incident management. With Atlassian, with JSM, you don't have to do these two tools. We have integrated all the Opsgenie functionality within JSM. It is live. It went GA last, I think, in January this year. And instead of using two different tools, or for your alerting Opsgenie and for incident management, you use ServiceNow. You can then now use a single tool that is JSM, which is basically helping you with your alert and on-call management. Plus, then we have the incident management within JSM, and it integrates very well. You have the full context of what is happening, what alerts were these incidents created for now. And plus, with our dev plus IT story, we will also connect with the development that was done. Let's say you have this incident, you can also see, okay, there were related changes done by the development team in a single place, because a lot of our, if you know, in software development, Jira is used for development purposes across many companies. So this integration, this direct better together, what we are calling, you will get a cohesive experience instead of using multiple tools. So within JSM, you have alert plus on-call and incident management available there itself. You don't have to use multiple tools.
Just adding on to that point, as you might know, Opsgenie was acquired by Atlassian a while back, and we have been working on kind of consolidating all the functionalities into a single product. So JSM is that consolidated product. If you're using Opsgenie, please come to the booth. We have also made a single tool using which you can actually migrate your Opsgenie configuration, the alert data, that it natively starts appearing in JSM without you having to do anything. The tool takes care of. But please come by the booth and.
Okay. But does that mean like Opsgenie will be soon deprecated and we are completely moving to JSM? Is that because basically it is something that we are recommending the customers, okay? So once we do this integration, it will be going on for some time. And then now that you said, these functionalities is being included in JSM, then that functionality again has to go, be excluded, and then we have to do another integration. So what are the timelines, or like, are we planning to do the deprecation or anything? So
I think you have some very specific questions. We can definitely answer them but let me try to give you, let me try to paint a picture for you. As I was saying a couple of minutes ago, what we are trying to do is that we are trying to enhance collaboration between all teams and thereby between all of our products inside Atlassian. And that driving engine for us is the Jira platform, on which you have the Jira software product and the Jira service management product as well. So what we spoke about, what Bimal spoke about is consolidation of, bringing those features into Jira service management. And I'm sure today you have, today you're using Opsgenie, you're using ServiceNow and Jira for doing like end-to-end development, right? The answer to that is that you can now just have one platform or one product, or rather one solution that helps you do all of these things without context switching and without referring to different products.
got it. Okay. Okay, sure. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks. This is Rajesh. I think my question is already answered about tool sprawling. So in our organization, we have this problem. Like for monitoring, we have 3 different tools for dashboard. We do have license for Confluence Jira. So with the same license, can we use Compass and come out of that tool sprawling one single dashboard for all these monitoring?
So Compass is a separate product, so you will require a separate license for it. But what that basically eliminates for you is that you don't now need to look at other dashboards like your Grafana, New Relic, Datadog, Big Panda separately. You can integrate them very nicely with Compass. And if you, I don't know if you have a sales representative or an account executive, then we can probably even start thinking about how can we maybe package these solutions better for you.
Thank you.
Yeah, hi. I have a question for Aditya. So we are using SolarWinds for monitoring, right? So service monitoring. So how effective you think that AI can reduce the noise of alerts? Like is Jira AI is that much effective to reduce the noise, or how can you define that it is a noise, or like is it by the threshold or is it by the SLAs? How you pitch it? Yeah.
I think that's a question better.
Yeah, so one answer is that it's a model that is continuously learning, right? I told you like we released these 6 features in last 3 months. We are already at version 2 for alert grouping, right? So we are learning, we are iterating, we are improving upon it. But to answer your question right now, it looks at, as Rishabh was mentioning, it looks at all the details that is available in the alert right now, right? In terms of linked services, the tags, the summary, description, everything, right? We will also link to other available components in your space, like let's say service topography. Are there other linked services this related to? We'll also fetch articles from your Confluence KBs, which is linked to your particular team or company, right? But it's a evolving space because the more and more integrations, data that we get, the more accurate the prediction model becomes. And there's also improvements that is happening in the model space as well. So the model also become better, right? So there are multiple data points that is right now used for alert grouping, but that doesn't mean that's the only thing that we will use in the future, right?
Thank you.
Thank you. If you have further
Thank you,
questions,
everyone.
please, add your feedback and questions. And please come join us in the booth. Would love to talk to you and understand your pain points.
Thank you. There's a lot many questions we understand. Let's give a round of applause for these 3 eminent personalities from Atlassians. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Well, guys, I could see so much of how was the host now. Better than morning? Yeah, I didn't ask for the Josh. Josh is always there. You're all Joshile people. Thank you so much. And yes, people are amazing questions. Thank you so much, guys. Such interaction is much needed, and that is when we prosper, right? What is an action without a reaction? And that was a reaction which you all gave us. Thank you. Thank you so much, guys. Can we bring a round of applause for you all once again? And yes, very importantly, can you look at each other? Since you have been all concentrated towards the screen, can you look at each other now? It's okay. Just Sharmare, it's okay. Your Josh is also great. Look at each other once. Look into their eyes. You might find a question too. Deep down, a group which is coming together and bringing this happiness for each other is very much important. Well, guys, I've been playing just as a moderator, coming in between, giving you the glimpses of what we can look forward to even more. With that, thank you all. Thank you so much.